All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises and glory and honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of Ruel. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat Dawadah, the house of David. All right, so as we know, the successor, right, of the Ayatollah Khomeini, right, if I'm saying his name the correct way, is his son. You see? And you best believe that his son is absolutely pissed off, right? He's mad, you see, and Iran is not trying to end this war at all, right? They're not trying to surrender or throw the white flag because see, with Babylon the Great thought was, through the small hats, through the croissant tops, right? That they was just gonna go in there and take them down, and they was just going, take over, set up a puppet leader, right? Take over their central banks, right? Take over the Strait of Hormuz, right? And many different other things of this nature, man. See, and push off their global agenda, right? But that wasn't the case. Operation Epic Fury, that they called it. You see, they thought they was gonna try to go in there and debo them like they did Venezuela, right? But that shit didn't work out. Pardon my French, but that didn't work out, man. All right? And they're going to come to find out that the Iranians, right, which is the ancient Persians, right, which goes back to the Elamites, right, that they're no joke, man. They don't play around, man. You see? See, Esau, I don't know if they went up there and told you, Esau, but you stepped into some shit that you may not be able to get up out of, man. All right? And you're not going to be able to get up out of it, man. You see? This thing ain't going to end well for you devils, man. All right? But without further ado, let's just go play this video. All right?
The U.S. and Israel now know who they're dealing with in Iran. His name is Mojtaba Khamenei. He's the
Mojtaba Khamenei. That's how you say his name. That's the Ayatollah's son. Okay?
country's new supreme leader, taking over from his slain father. Large crowds in several cities have rallied to show their support, waving national flags and holding portraits of Ali Khamenei, who was killed on the war's first day. The new man in charge is described by analysts as a hardliner, deeply embedded in Iran's political and military establishment. Mojtaba Khamenei has risen to power amid Israeli threats to target the new Ayatollah. U.S. President Donald Trump previously described him as unacceptable and warned that any successor chosen without his...
See, he warned him. He said he warned him as man, listen, because they wanted to get in there. They wanted to put their puppet leader in there, right? So they can take over all their resources, take over their central banks, take over everything. You see? See, this devil is a proud devil, right? Let's go here, okay? Because they plotted this thing, say, oh, okay, well, they got weapons of destruction and all this other madness, right? Well, let's go here to Habakkuk, right? Habakkuk, the second chapter, and the 5th verse, right? It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire of his hell, and is his death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, so the least of the flock would draw them out, right? You see, so guess what? They invited him into this war. Talking about the small hats, the croissant tops, right? They they joined them unto this war, man. Let me get Jeremiah. What is that? Jeremiah 49 and 20, I think it is. Yep, Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, that he have taken against Edom and have purposes, and his purpose that he have proposed against the inhabitants of Teman, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, right? And that's the croissant tops, right? They had drawing them into this war, right? Because they want to do the greater Israel project, right? To try to take over the whole thing. What they want to do is they want to debo the whole thing, right? So they brought the whore in there to do it, right? They brought the hammer of the earth in there to do it. You see, right? But little do they know that they ain't understand what they was getting ready to get involved in, man. This is straight prophecy, right? Jeremiah 38, Jeremiah 39, right? This thing ain't gonna end well, man. You see, it's not gonna end well. All right. Let me get this here in Micah, right? Micah 2:1. So they devised a plan. You see, this is one of them. This is one of them operations, right? They came together overnight. You know, I probably been they been had this plan, right? But they decided to launch their plan on a weekend. You see, and Iran was ready for it. You see, they've been preparing for this thing, right? And they're not gonna wave the white flag, man. All right. You see, they're not gonna wave the white flag. Let's read Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they cover fields and they take them by violence." You see, and they cover fields and they take them by violence, and that's what they went in there with, violence, right? Because Esau Edom is all about violence, right? And death and destruction. Because he coming with his sword that he was blessed with, right? And houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. You see. So let's go back and let's play this here.
His involvement, quote, isn't going to last long. We're joined now by Ismail Baghai, spokesperson for the Iranian Foreign Ministry. Thanks for coming on to DW News today. Mr. Baghai, your country has named a new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. He's the son of the previous leader, Ali Khamenei, who was killed in the U.S.-Israeli attacks on February 28th. What kind of signal is Iran sending to the U.S. and Israel by picking Mojtaba?
Oh, his name is Khamenei, right? So Ayatollah Khamenei. That's how you say it, right?
Khamenei now.
Thank you for having me.
So this is the Iran. This is the Iran foreign
We don't
minister, foreign minister that's speaking on the behalf of their new supreme leader. All right, right now.
care what kind of signals others take or get from this selection. This has been done in accordance with the Constitution. The Assembly of Experts has decided in accordance with the Constitution to name him as the third supreme leader of Iran.
U.S. President Donald Trump, though, has said that any new...
Matter of fact, let's get this here scripture, right? Obadiah. Let's go into the book of Obadiah. Obadiah, Salakia. Obadiah 1, right here in verse number 3, it says, "The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" Right? And that's what this devil is. This devil is super proud. You see? But little do we know he's going to be brought down, right? His kingdom is going to be destroyed. Ultimately, his constituents is going to shoot missiles off on him, right? NATO and the EU, right? The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, right? And the European Union, right? And then all these other countries, right? They're going to shoot missiles off at this whore. You see? They're going to burn this whore with fire, right? Israel going to get burnt up, but it's going to be rebuilt back up. You see? It's going to get obliterated, man. You see, because their wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, man. Right? Matter of fact, let's go get that scripture real quick. You see? Second Ezra, 15th chapter. Right here. Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. And I'll start at verse 7. It says, "Therefore saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness," right? Because the prophets are speaking about it. You see? The Lord is speaking through the prophets, right? Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. It says, more as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me. Right? Matter of fact, is that? Hold on. Oh yeah, no. Well, I could read. I'll read. I'll go back up. Right. It says, in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Let's go back up here real quick, because I kind of skipped over the verse that I really wanted. So verse 6, it says, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. You see that? All right, so let's go back over in here. Play this.
Iranian leader will not last long without U.S. approval. What do you say to that?
Again, what we are doing, what the Assembly of Experts has done is in accordance with the Constitution. It doesn't concern any outsider to intervene or to tell us who should rule Iran. We are exercising our right of self-determination. This decision is taken in accordance with the Constitution, and I think those countries, those politicians.
Right, and Nero 47 not going to tell them what the hell they going to do over in their country, man. They not trying to hear that BS that he talking about, man. All right. See, I don't know if they went up there and told you, Esau, but Iran is not no. They not soft, man. They not soft, man. You're not just looking at some soft people, man. Some punks, man. Okay, they looking to go to battle. They looking to go to war, man. You see, they don't give a damn about what you coming with, man. All right. And this is ultimately prophecy, man. Straight up, straight up and down. But we know, like I stated, we know that we have to go through that Jeremiah 30:7, Daniel 12:1, right? The MOTB, Revelation 13:16, all the way down to 18, right? Revelation 2:10, Revelation 3:10, right? We know that there's going to be a time of trouble, man, right? A great tribulation, man, right? And then ultimately, a World War III is going to end it all, be it all. You see?
Those outsiders who dare to talk about another country's leadership shall really be held accountable, because this is against international law. This is a lawless behavior that is against all the rules and principles of international law and civility.
So what does the appointment then of Mojtaba Khamenei mean for the people of Iran? Is he likely to continue the policies of his father, to continue the repression that we've seen under his father?
It's not true. I don't know why you call repression. It is part of negative stereotyping and cliches that has been going on for long with respect to Iran.
Well, with all due respect, I'm referring to the thousands of protesters who were killed.
As I said, Iran is a democratically elected system in accordance with the Constitution. We are exercising our right of self-determination.
And as you can see, you hear that devil over there, right? Because that's a devil right there that's interviewing him, right? He always talk about oppression. But what about oppression here in Babylon the Great? You've been oppressing the children. You've been oppressing the sons of Israel, the daughters of Israel, right? Over here in this land, over here in Babylon the Great, which is going to be destroyed by ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles. What about that, devil? You see? You got some damn nerve, man. Okay? And you talking about the thousands of protesters. The hell with all that, man. We're going to get down to the skinny of it. You devils is going to be destroyed, man. All right? Hey, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, your kingdom is done, man. It's through. You see? Devils are out of here, man. And your asses is going in the chain, starting with your super elite banking family, starting with the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the croissant tops. All right? We got a new name for them, the croissant tops. Okay, you know.
You may not like our system, but this doesn't mean that you, I mean, by you, I'm referring to certain Western countries, to intervene in the affairs of Iran.
But may I remind
Right, and that's all them devils want to do. You ain't got nothing to do with over there. You coming in interfering in something that they got going on in their country, man. See, that's the thing about Esau. He's a vagabond. He's a fugitive, man. All right. He's a proud devil. He don't like to keep it at home, but he like to go up in everybody else's land and thinking that he can boss them over and debo them out, man. All right. You see, but little do he know, man, you gonna figure it out that your ass is gonna be destroyed, man. All right. Your time is coming to an end, my man. All right. It's over for your kingdom, man. Right. Let me get this here. Let me get Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, man. You see? Second Ezra, the 6th chapter. We'll start at the 6th verse. Right? It says, Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through me, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Right? Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to end this whole thing. You see? It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. That's symbolic, right? For him being pulled out of power. You see? That's what that was all about. You're going to be taken down, man. All right? It says, For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see? So our kingdom is coming after your kingdom get obliterated. And we're going to rule over this. We're going to rule over the planet with the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You see? And you devils are going to be chained up. And then after your 1,000 years of slavery, you will be Obadiah 1:18. While the rest of the other nations will serve us for eternity.
you that your government itself has acknowledged that thousands of people were killed in the uprising recently? That was the government of Iran that carried out that repression, which was directly connected to Khamenei.
It's not true. The way you are putting that is not true. Yes, we had an uprising. We had a peaceful protest, unfortunately turned violent because of the infiltrators who were taking orders from the United States and Israel. They turned those peaceful protesters violent. More than 3,000 people were killed. 2,400 of them were named martyrs because they were either police forces or they were innocent bystanders who were shot by those infiltrators, by those gunmen who wanted to make the number of those who were killed higher in order to provide for the intervention of the United States. Please remember that the United States president said that we would come to your help if there are the numbers of deaths high.
What I'm getting at here, and I don't want to use the whole interview for just talking about this, though, is that the government of Iran is really not allowing the people to express its will in this sense that when you close down the internet and have a complete communications blackout, that really makes it difficult to assess what's going on there and for people to communicate with one another.
Again, I think this is a misrepresentation of realities. The reason why in those days internet was shut down because the government wanted to deprive those infiltrators, those terrorists from communicating together. It was part of the government decision to uphold rule of law and security and safety for the population.
Okay. Let's move on to the war that's happening right now. What is the Iranian leadership doing to ensure the safety of the Iranian people? Because they are the ones really suffering at this point.
Again, this is not a war. This is an act of aggression. And I think words really matter. If you want to be true to your audience, you have to call a spade a spade. This is an act of aggression, unprovoked and unwarranted, imposed by the United States and Israel against the nation of Iran. We are defending ourselves, and sir, please remember that we were in the middle of negotiations.
Iran got hands too.
For a second time during the past 9 months, Iran came under a military aggression by the United States and Israel while we were talking together. So this is an act of aggression. This is the blitz imposed on Iran.
Well, the aggression is not just coming from the United States and Israel at this point. We're seeing the Gulf states, neighboring states to Iran, being attacked. Let's take a look at how Iran has been responding to those attacks by the U.S. and Israel. We need to be honest about that. How do you justify Iran's attacks on neighbors like Oman, which was involved in trying to broker some sort of arrangement, a deal on the nuclear program? The UAE, Qatar.
Sir.
You hear this devil? Look at this devil, man. All right? He's being a straight devil over there, man. When Esau, Edom went around, raped, robbed, and pillaged, and murdered, and went around stealing and taking resources from everybody, but he got some damn nerve to sit there and run his damn mouth, man. That's why these damn devils is going to be destroyed, man. All right?
This is a misrepresentation. Did we start this war? The United States and Israel started this war. We are defending ourselves. Why? Because the American military bases, installations, and assets are scattered in the countries of the region and under international law.
Right, and Babylon the Great got many military bases set up over there in the Saudi Arabia areas and many different other areas of that nature. So what Iran is doing, they just bombing their damn military bases out, man. You see?
Including Resolution 2625 of the UN General Assembly. No state is allowed to give its territory to another state for military attack against another. So we are only targeting those military bases, those assets that are being used by the United States to attack Iran. So we are defending ourselves against these acts of aggression that are originating or being supplied or being supported by those installations.
You may be attacking those
located there.
Sorry, but you may be attacking those installations, but your missiles and drones are striking civilian infrastructure, the oil and gas facilities, the desalination plants, striking residential buildings. We're seeing hotels going up in flames. How do you justify that?
Are you asking the same questions from the United States and Israel? The first day...
He damn sure isn't asking the same questions from Israel and the Babylon the Great. He not asking those questions here. Let's go get this here. Scripture, right? Let me get Revelation. Right? Revelation, the 6th chapter. You see Revelation, the 6th chapter. And right here, let's go to the 4th verse, then we'll jump down to the 8th verse. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Now let's jump down to verse 8. It says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
That they attacked Iran. They attacked an elementary school in the city of Ninab. They slaughtered more than 170 innocent little angels. They targeted many sports complexes. Azadi Sport Complex was all completely damaged. We care. We are very careful. Our armed forces are very careful not to attack any non-military objective or targets.
I'm
This
sorry,
is the
people are
way our
dying in
armed
those
forces have been
countries.
conducting thereof.
I mean, there have been people killed, as you know, in some of those countries I've just mentioned, who are not combatants. They are not representatives of the U.S. military. They are civilians. But again, let's move on to what is happening today, this very day, in what you've now acknowledged is a war. Secretary of State Marco Rubio of the United States, he spoke earlier today. Let's listen to what he had to say.
I think we are all seeing right now the threat that this clerical regime poses to the region and to the world. They are trying to hold the world hostage. They are attacking their neighbors. They are attacking neighboring countries, their energy infrastructure, their civilian population. They're attacking embassies. This is a terrorist government. This is a terroristic regime.
And to hell with Marco Rubio, that damn demon. All right?
Mr. Bagay, we just heard from Marco Rubio
That's
there.
simply shameful rhetoric. Shameful rhetoric.
Is Iran a terrorist regime?
It was the United States and Israel that started this war. Did we start this war? Please. Iran did.
The least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock shall draw them out.
Start this war. Iran is defending itself against these acts of aggression by the United States and Israel. Is Iran terrorist, or those who assassinated our leader, assassinated our people, killed more than 175 innocent persons intentionally, only in one single act of aggression in the city of Minab? So these are all rhetorics. They have to be held accountable for making our region insecure, for making the whole world insecure because of the consequences of this imposed war against the nation of Iran.
I would just point out that that school that was hit in Iran was beside a military installation, and that it is indeed being investigated.
Please don't say it. Please don't say it. That's right, because they know them devils hit that school over there and killed them little girl and killed them girls and them teachers up in that school, man. You see, these damn devils, they got a lot to pay for it, man. Okay? They got a lot to pay for it, man. All right? That's why that devil Nero 47 said what he said in the interview, right? About, well, we don't know if they did it. No, you damn devils, you devils did it, man. All right? Because you don't care about anything. You're out for blood, right? You're a bloodthirsty warmonger, man.
Sort of laundering of their crimes. Don't say it because they have been killing. That's not a fact. That's not a fact. You are always justifying these acts of genocide, the same you did with regard to Palestine. They killed more than one.
Are you saying that school that was struck is not next to a military installation?
This is organized laundering of their crime. You launder their genocide in occupied Palestine. They killed 70,000 innocent people.
And look at that devil. He got a smirk on his face. While the Iranian minister is checking his ass, he's got a damn smirk on his face. That damn demon. That devil.
Occupied Palestine, and you always try to justify this act of heinous crime. Do not do that, please.
Mr. Bagay, we're really not here to compare one situation to another, but we do want to come back to Iran. I wanted to ask you about who is actually in charge of Iran, because we heard the president come out and apologize to Iran's neighbors for striking them, yet the strikes have continued. On that very day, the strikes on some of those Gulf states that we've mentioned continued, and they're continuing now. That suggests that Iran's political leaders are not really in control of the military, and many people are wondering who is in control of the military. Can you help us with that?
If you listen to me carefully, I will tell you. If you listen carefully, that was not exactly what he said. He said, we are sorry for any inconvenience that our defensive operations may have caused to our brothers and sisters in the Persian Gulf countries. We do not apologize for defending our people. Our president said it very clearly that we do not attack any country that is not helping the United States and Israel in attacking Iran. Under international law, we are entitled to defend our people. Those military bases and installations are being abused or used by the United States to conduct military aggression against Iran. Do you expect Iran to sit idly in the face of this aggression?
Well, to call it an inconvenience for the neighbors, I would say is a euphemism. But again, can you tell me who actually is in charge right now of the armed forces of Iran?
Our armed forces are acting in accordance with the Constitution. Right now, we have the Supreme Leader, and previous to that, we had an interim council. So everything is in order. Our armed forces are entitled to defend Iran's territory and sovereignty against these acts of unprovoked aggression.
What about Iran's allies? Can you tell us where they have been in terms of helping you deal with this situation? What support have you been getting from countries like Russia in this war?
We are a sovereign nation. We know how to defend ourselves. We have our relationship with other countries, but we know how to defend our people against the aggressors.
We know that Iran has been assisting Russia in its war against Ukraine with drone technology above all. Is the Kremlin now returning that favor?
As I said, we have had defense cooperation with Russia. This doesn't mean that our cooperation with Russia has been against any country. That's another big lie that unfortunately has been propagated for a long time in Western media. We have nothing to do with Ukraine.
Right, because the media over here is nothing but Operation Mockingbird. You see? Nothing but lies. See, you got to go to alternative news if you really want to get the truth, man. All right? Because see, Esau and Edom is going to push off his BS, his madness, right? On his news, he's going to give you all propaganda. You see? Lies. And lies beyond lies.
In conflict, and here in our defense, we know how to defend ourselves.
What would you say needs to be done? What can be done in this current situation, perhaps with your new leader, to de-escalate the conflict?
Do you ask Iran how to de-escalate? Did we escalate? Did we start this war? Come on. This war was imposed on Iran, on the region, and on the whole international community. The consequences that the whole world is paying is because of the United States and Israel's attack against Iran. We are just defending ourselves, sir.
But your foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, said in an interview just the other day that Iran sees no reason to negotiate. It's not asking for a ceasefire. If that's the case, what would victory look like for Iran? What are you hoping to achieve by continuing this?
His response was to a question about diplomacy. What he said, and I'm repeating, we were in the middle of the negotiations. Don't you remember that we were supposed to meet on Monday in Vienna to talk about technical details of any possible deal on nuclear issue? The same happened in June. We were supposed to meet for the 6th round when just 2 days before that, the United States decided to attack Iran with the help of the Israeli regime. So what we have been trying to say is that we have been in a diplomatic process. The diplomacy was betrayed by the United States. So please do not talk about diplomacy. Iranians have always been for diplomacy. We were talking, we were negotiating when our country came under this egregious act of aggression.
Well, if you were to try to resume diplomacy under the current conditions, how would you go about doing that? Who would you contact in Washington or in Jerusalem to discuss a possible de-escalation?
I think our full concentration right now is to defend our territorial integrity and sovereignty. Our cities are under constant missiles and bombs by the United States and its proxy, Israel. So right now, each and every Iranians are focused 100% on defending our dignity, our sovereignty, and our freedom.
Ismail Baghei, spokesperson for the Iranian Foreign Ministry, thank you very much for talking with us on DW News today.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, we're going to give all praises and glory and honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Marakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of Ruel. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat Dawadah, the house of David. Kwam Yashala, Ababa Ball, Shalom.